what Rachel Maddow and Lawrence O'Donnell in this little conversation at your switch over, what they had to say was one of the most substantive things in probably 2 minutes or so that was said about the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. Yeah, everybody's going crazy, but I want you guys to listen to Rachel Maddow and right here, because what they're saying here is prescient, very important. Check this out. We'll take it on the other side.
We'll just say in terms of the real world impact on women's lives, Congressman Jamie Raskin raised a really good point about the reasoning in this opinion, which again is a draft opinion, but the way that this is written, it undoes a woman's right to decide whether or not she's going to carry a pregnancy to term. But this also absolutely creates the circumstance in which it is possible for them to overturn a related ruling called Griswold, which is about the right of people to have access to contraception, even if certain state legislatures decide that contraception is evil, or that we want to call contraception abortion, or we want to otherwise make it unavailable to people. It's a straight line from this ruling not only to banning abortion instantly and potentially nationally, but to also preventing Americans from accessing birth control in a ruling that is argued along the same lines as the established precedents that are struck down in this opinion. And it's a fundamentally different world if this happens.
And included in this fundamentally different world is what the other part of what we're experiencing tonight is minority government, minority ruled government. And the Supreme Court is the most incredible exemplar of that. You have these judges appointed to the Supreme Court by two presidents who did not win the most votes in their presidential election. George W. Bush appointed the justice who wrote this opinion. He did not win the most votes in his presidential election, but he won the Electoral College. And then you have Donald Trump appointing three of these deciding justices. He did not come close to winning the most votes, but he got the presidency in this country because of this capacity for minority rule in our government, which is what the United States Senate is about every day of every year. More people vote for Democrats for the United States Senate, but Republicans end up either in control of it with fewer people voting for them for those seats, or, as we see now, in a 50-50 position. This is a minority-controlled government. This is the product of that.
You know what, man? Good minds think alike. It's funny because I started writing an article at Medium that talked about the justices that spoke about minority rule. In fact, several years ago, I wrote about, during the Trump administration, I wrote about how the Republicans are going to have to use the judiciary to control us because they just don't have the numbers anymore. And it's coming to pass. And then when I started writing that and I heard that on Lawrence O'Donnell, I'm like, Lawrence, I think you're spying on me, brother. But no, I'm kidding. But anyhow, it is interesting. That is some of the most important pieces that we need to get out of Roe versus Wade being overturned. It's not just about abortions. It's about minority rule. It's about the Supreme Court doing what they please, irrespective of what most American people want, irrespective of what the Constitution demands. It's about also making sure that they remain in power.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.